Alright, we've got a bit of a different video here today. What we're going to do is, this is a 372 X-Torque carb that I've gotten from the Duke. You can see their impressions in it there. What I'm going to attempt to do here is split the carburetor, probably somewhere through there, and we're going to add it on to my 288 in hopes to, I guess, make something of a double pumper, because it starves for fuel now that it's running on alcohol. So we're going to give that a shot, and if all else fails, we'll put that on there. Either way, so what's going to end up happening here is I'm going to disassemble the carburetor, take all the butterflies out, all the shafts and all that stuff, and I'm going to just take a saw and cut it in half, or a grinder or something like that. Then I'm going to put it in the lathe, check it out in the lathe, and face it off to where it, you know, is nice. Alright, well, let's say we disassemble. This should be the easy part. Now, when we cut it in two, I think, I'm not 100% because I've never done this, but what was going to have to happen is right through here, from this point here to over here where the needle and seat is, there's a, you can kind of see a passage right there. That's what that is. That's where the fuel comes in here and then through here. And of course, you know, fuel gets pulled through the jet there. And I think there's some other metering holes somewhere in there. There's one right. You can barely catch a glimpse of it. We'll look at it again whenever we get all these shafts out. Might be able to see it better. Oh, back to that thought. But yeah, on that passageway, and then I'm gonna have to put a nipple or something in line for the fuel line to hook onto, and that'll be the outgoing. I never use these shafts anyway. Most of the time I swap them out for the shafts on the stock carburetor. And that's pretty much the meat and taters of this here carburetor. Ain't much to it, not much at all. All right, I don't know if y'all can see them, but there's two of your metering holes, and looks like there's one more right there. I think that is a casting imperfection. And that very well could be too. Very well could be too. We'll go ahead and take her all the way down, just to say we done it. I almost want to stack two carburetors back to back, but I don't know how well that would work. So, I know this will potentially work, so we're going to go with that. The other thing I have no earthly idea about. Guess I could try it, but not on this one. High side, low side, and they pretty much look identical, except for one's just a little bit longer than the other one. There's not a lot of difference. I'm sure it'd be some running differences. I'll knock that out too. Find my punch. Yeah, I would like to use. Should work. It normally does anyway. And just tap her out. There you go. Simple. Now I didn't have to do that, but I'm doing that just to keep chips out of it. And of course the end of my punch is a little it's not too smooth, so it left marks, but it does better with a bigger diameter punch. That's what I use that one for most of the time. In fact, that's the one I was looking for, because it really is pretty close. But anyhow, no harm, no foul, because really don't intend to use it anyway. One more thing to pick out, and that's that right there. Get that out. And as you can see, that is a hole. So, I'm not going to make y'all endure me cutting this thing apart, but so basically I'm going to follow where that little plastic piece slid in there and go from there. That's going to be my starting point. All right, we'll bring you back. Well, you can see there it followed pretty good. Now I got to do this side. We now have two halves of a carburetor. Let's get down here and get a little closer. This is the side we're going to be using. Hold on. All right. Now let's see, get you in here to see here. Okay, so as you can see, our carburetor is now no longer one. All right, there's your brass seat for your needle. If I can get it in the frame there. There's where your needle goes. So this I have drilled out and tapped to fit that barb fitting. Nice, right? Okay, so now we can see all of our holes better. So that's just a casting imperfection. Could be a hole maybe, but oh, it is a hole. It goes right yonder. And gets blocked off by the gasket. So we now know this hole does nothing. But these do. Especially these two. This may be another dummy, like, well, it appears This hole here coincides with this jet right there, and that just looks like it goes to a passageway. Now these two holes are up underneath this here Welch plug. I'll see if I can't pick it out. Easy enough to show. There we go. And there you go. And you can see the holes. And you see that one you can't see through. So there's your two holes that you see inside there. There's another hole that goes this way, and there's one that goes that way. And I'm trying to see the route that it takes to where it goes. Looks like it might be all but dead right there, but it goes this way. Looks like it feeds this jet here. And then all that's in here in the metering side. All right, so your, let's see, what is it? That's the high jet. It goes in there, basically straight through. That bleeds to it. And then there's another hole right down in there. So passage to that passage, and so on and so forth. All right, so it looks like it's not a dead end. That's your low side that runs there. So your low side's feeding in through here. So apparently that's where your low side fuel is going to come from, is those two holes. And that's pretty much the bigs, the ins and outs of her. I think that's a casting inclusion there. But anyway, that was just for FYI on that one. But here we go. This is this and that is that, and we're going to do some machining on this next. I'm going to put it in the lathe. I'm going to flatten it all out. I'll bring y'all back. Alright, so we're set up in the lathe here. And essentially all we're going to do is we're surfacing it. Alright, I'm going to bring you back periodically just to show you the progress. Alright, so that's what we got after 2 passes of like 10 thousandths. We've probably still got another 20 to get down to there or more. So, let's go for it. something you could have done with sandpaper and a piece of glass. You got just as good a result. For me, this is just easier. Alright, that was a nice heavy cut. So it's going to look like poopy doo and oh yeah. Using this piece of key stock to check my clearance. Make sure my piece hasn't moved in the jaws. Don't ever do that because you'll screw up your piece. But I've got a lot to go, so I'm not too worried about it. We might be getting both sides now. Getting a little ahead of myself. And no, that is not perfectly centered in there neither. All right, we finally got all the way across. So that's a lot better looking finish to me than just you know, cut off. Now, this will actually fit it right. Lovely, right? So I'm going to turn a little bit more off of it just because I can. Because I really want as little of that as possible. Of the little gouge there. So I've probably got double or triple the amount of thread up in here as I do here, so that tells me I can keep going. So I'm gonna cut y'all off and do that. All right. So we got, it's a little rough just because it started hanging in the groove there from it being an intermittent cut. Let me find my deburr tool. Not sure what I've done with them. Give me a little bit more room here. Alright, we got some scratches and stuff here on the face. So I'm gonna flat sand that on the glass right here, and now feel nice and slick. So we're gonna put it back together just like I normally would. Rebuild a carb, just for the sake of having the extra ability to catch trash. Helps if I stick this thing on here the right direction. Helps a lot. There we go. Good deal. This one uses these long ones here. I don't know why I had that in my hand. Now, need to get me another propane tank. Or not propane, but mac gas. Now, what we're going to do here is I'm cheating and going to use a lighter here to warm it up. In hopes to get that in there. Now, there is our pretty much our finished product. I may trim some of this bull junk off, but for the most part, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you wanted to, you could come down and take some of that off, but definitely be careful. I wouldn't go no deeper than that. So, in theory, fuel's going to come in here. impulse, and fuel is going to come out there. And this is going to go to my carburetor. But we're probably at a lot longer than anybody really wants to bear for one of these videos. So we're going to cut this one off here, and we'll start a new video for the installation and everything on the saw. But there's that, and take care, everyone. Be good. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do, and peace.